Dean, on to you. Next question.
Fire anything you want at me, I'm raw and uncut. I just keep it as real as it is. When it comes to them trumps, I've got nothing more to add to what Dougie was just saying. But all I'm going to say is, boys, next time you come out, make sure you do a man's job. Simple as that.
Shake the hand.
I'll go and shake Decca's.
Now, Dean.
Well, we got to talk about him.
Yeah.
We got to talk about him because
Do you know
it was
what?
one of the most talked about things.
Well, do you know what it was?
Time.
So realistically, I'll just kind of sum up in a polite way.
I'm still going to ask you questions, but
You
go
can
on.
ask me anything, but you can ask me what you want, but I'll sum up in a polite way because you know what it is. I want to keep the platform clean, and we all know it's not clean.
Yeah.
So just get that one out there. So after the fight, respects you. You know the fight happened. You always got to shake a fighting man's hand, regardless of what he's, because that's what men do, and that's what we do in our culture. I asked him for the rematch. He agreed to the rematch.
There and then?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him for the rematch. He agreed to the rematch. So we had it in the messages. So I screenshotted the messages, sent them to Doug, said the rematch is on. The rematch is agreed. Then him and the Jack Draper fight got pulled. So I said, look, when can you give me the rematch? Then he started coming up, talking with all like the malicious side of it. Remember, I'm the YouTube bad boy apparently, so everyone comes against me. And that was it. I'm not going to, what I say about him, I'm not going to say about him because, this is a clean platform today. But obviously we can do a raw and uncut about him because there's a lot more in depth what we know about him now. But like you're saying, I don't want to give him no exposure. I'll fight him any way he wants it. But all I want to say is that the day I fought him, he fought a 40% version of not right. I shouldn't have gone. He wanted to pull the fight 3 days before, right or wrong.
Yeah.
I said, because I ain't pulling no fight, I don't pull no fight, I'm a fighting one. Now, I know that his fellow countryman, what's he call himself, Danny Chris Packett, he come out and said, the fighting man comes out this week and comes out and fights and don't need 12 weeks. I didn't need 12 weeks when I called for the rematch. So let's make that one clear, Chris Packett. I didn't say I wanted 12 weeks. Decca said to me 12 weeks to get my leg better. So I said, appreciate it, thank you. So I'm being the polite guy now, but what I've realised is when you're polite to these so-called wrong-uns, I mean, look, it must be something in the water in Carlisle because they're all wrong-uns. And that's not every person in Carlisle, because one of our good friends was from Carlisle, but the ones I seem to come across are wrong-uns, you know what I mean? And like you're saying,
I'm going to show you, I'm not stopping you talking, I'm going to show you something in a minute to carry on the story. I'm not sitting on
So bottom line is, next minute now, Decca's coming around trying to get his way out of the fight by certain things he was messaging over. And then what he started doing is, for some reason, he messaged a message, and on that message, what we screenshotted, we've got evidence we're going to show you now. He mentioned Dougie's oldest daughter on the message.
There you go. So you can see. So why would he mention my daughter not there? I've already messaged him numbers of times. I've put people messaging.
What's he in the blue?
You don't need to read it out.
Is he in the blue though? Is he?
Yeah, that's him there.
Yeah, and what's so and at the bottom.
That was me in the blue, and then he's put that at the bottom.
Mention my little girl's name
with a smiley face.
I've messaged Decca numbers of times to get in touch with me, to ring me. He blocked me off social media. The dirty scumbag cunt. Oh, yeah. Mentioning my daughter. What was he mentioning my daughter for? And then putting a smiley face on it.
Yeah.
So this is what you've got to remember is we approach.
He shouldn't involve me. He should have kept his shit between him and Dean. He's took things a bit too far, and that's why he's blocked everything. But Decca, I promise you, and I promise you to God now, we'll be catching up with you very soon.
You've got to remember, so what we've said to Decca is, look, give me the rematch. So I was a 40% man there, but I've not made no excuses. I could have said this happened, that happened, this happened. There's no excuses. If you don't do what you're going to do on the day, it's your own fault. Take it on the chin. But that's what I do. I took it on the chin. As a man, I called for the rematch. As you see, I've trimmed down. I'm training. I called for the rematch. The reason I called for the rematch because I know what I can do to Decca. Now what you got to remember is that was 100%. That wasn't the same version of him that fought
Danny Christie.
That was a total complete version of him. He sent a list to Dougie over of the steroids and all the supplements he was taking for me. And I just turned up with a little fat belly after a few pints. I shouldn't have turned up, but I'm saying it really.
After the kebab.
yeah. I don't even eat them things, but yeah. No, but bottom line, Sham, that's how I turned up. And I turned up and fought. Now, what I'm saying is, I didn't get up once, I got up 3 times. So who's the man you got to watch? The man that can go down or the man that puts him down? It's the man that gets up and keeps coming at you.
I will vouch for you that, before he fought Danny, he was drinking heavily because it was the weekend before he was here.
Yeah. No, but that's what I was saying. I mean, the week before he fought Danny Christie, he was there trying to kiss dogs and pull his dude out in pubs and so forth. I understand all that, but that's irrelevant.
I'm sure somebody can confirm that.
I know we can vouch for that. But what I'm saying is, realistically, and I'm always going to watch this, and I know it's in polite terms, but Decca, will you rematch me? You rematch me. That's all I want is the rematch. That's it, nothing else. No nonsense off, no talking shit or anything like that. But fair's fair. Will you give me the rematch? You called for the rematch with DC, you didn't get it and you was frustrated, so now you know where I'm coming from. All I want is the rematch with you, Decca. That's it.
This is what I want to say, because everyone has had this campaign against Decca. I've met Decca, and you know, I weren't coming from a place of hate. I don't speak to him no more for certain things, But I used to think it was bang out of order how all these people would target him, go to his house. But
I don't agree with going to someone's house, so I don't agree with that.
But like even you guys were supporting him. You showed fair play to Dan Christie, you know, and you were together. Something must have happened with you guys for you to now feel this way towards Decca as well.
We've
be wrong.
We've had things sent to us. We've seen enough.
And we asked Decca to back it up, and he won't back it up.
And he won't back it up.
So what we kind of said is, look, we're not here to build a platform on the back of Decca because we've got our own platforms. We're out the 3D, we're out there. So we're not going to build anything on the back of the Decca fight. It's just a rematch. If he wants it a private fight, it's because he keeps going on. Everyone builds a platform on the back of me. We're not interested in that. All I want to do is fight. If you want it private, no cameras. You want it cameraed, however you want it. But all I want is a rematch with Decca Heggie. That's it. That's it. For when I have the rematch with Decca Heggie, you know, I'm not made to fight heavyweights, right? But it doesn't mean I still can't beat an heavyweight. And when I went in there, you know, I've got to be realistic. My main concern was getting down and not getting back up. And then when he lamped me and I got back up, I thought, I can do that again and again and again, and this is me unfit. So that's why I called for the rematch. Now, he's a big 18-stone man. In theory, if you catch someone flush on the tempo, which you did, I shouldn't have got back up if you've trained and you're as great as what you say you are. Now, I'm not saying he's not tough. I'm not saying that at all. Oh, he's definitely tough and he can motor, but technically his ability's not the best, and I do believe a fit version of me is a different fight, and he's even come out and said that himself, and he's also admitted that I caught him and wobbled him. But yeah, he won't rematch me. Fight him and, you know, fight him and I'll always rematch, and well, that's what I've always kind of experienced. So I'm just saying, I want that rematch. I'm calling for it. I called for the first fight. I'm calling for the second fight, and that's it.
Yeah. What was it like, you know, because you seen the Danny Christie fight. You guys played it. So you seen how brutal that fight was. So what was it like, you know, just before you was about to fight him? Was you confident? Was you a bit lacking in confidence on that fight?
I've never been confident for what I'm not scared to. Like, you know what it is? I'll be honest. I'm from Manchester. You don't like me, I'm what? Yeah, that's my attitude. Yeah. Now, how you got to look at it is you've got to be realistic about it. If you don't want to play out in the rain, if you're scared to get wet, you shouldn't play out in the rain. It's as simple as that. Going into that fight was no different than going into the way I grew up. Do you understand? Oh, we've grew up. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah, ain't nothing for me. And everyone's like, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. Well, I'm not being funny. Realistically, he's getting accused of being an N. So why am I going to be scared to fight a man like that?
Yeah.
It's different if I'm fighting a superior athlete that's loved off everybody and, you know, and so forth. Then I'm going in there putting egg in my face. But I'm going against something. I'm fighting something that I'm against. Do you understand what I mean? So why was I scared of fighting him? Out to me, it was neither here nor there because I knew. I said to myself, and I said, if he don't knock me out, I'll rematch him because I knew I wasn't fit enough to get through the fight because I had too much going on. But if I would have pulled the fight, you could imagine, couldn't you? And he wanted to pull the fight. And I said, no, I'm not pulling no fight. He said, you know, and it is what it is. But guess what? You know, people can say what they can say, but people know it was a decent fight to watch. Yeah, obviously I didn't give the best account of myself, and I want a rematch. You know,
that's fair.
And that's it. Like you're saying, you know, you could see the size difference in there, but you can see a difference in me now from when I went in there.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to happen. Nah, he'll come up with a lot of different excuses now, like he's already tried by mentioning other people's names.
Well, if he's mentioned, if you're saying what he said, he'll probably be too scared to.
Yeah, but he's done that to me. The way he's done it, he shouldn't have done that because I'll tell you one thing. Well, don't start mentioning, listen, my little child. Don't be mentioning my girl's name.
Well, there's one for you.
The thing, listen, a scumbag mate to be doing that. Yeah, but to be honest with you, that there to me was a way out for him. And then mentioning my enemies, yeah, well, I'll be with them and this, that. Be with who you want. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you bring them as well. Dougie Joyce always turns up. I will always turn up.
But realistic, look.
You know what I mean? But him, that was a card for him. Pulling out a card, basically, I'm not fighting.
So like you said, you don't think it'll happen. Fair's fair. We'll come to Carlisle and fight you then. He'll drive me to Carlisle when he's ready.
We'll make it happen.
Fight him in Carlisle. We'll make it happen. You don't have to come to us.
We'll make it happen.
You don't think it will, but you want it to happen.
You got to remember this. People say what they say about us. There's no shit around us. We're as straight as it comes. You know, if we've got both of us have fought over the past year. We both travelled and fought. It's not a problem. We've been to every single city, right? And we'll go to every other city. But people won't come to, they'll chat shit about us, but they won't come to our city and say nothing to us. But they do it behind screens. Like, we will turn up. That's the difference. We will go out there and we'll put it out there. It's not an issue at all. But like you're saying, just want to clear some up. I've got no issues with nobody. If you've got an issue with me, contact me. We've got a platform. I'm a fighting man. If you're a fighting man, contact me. If it makes sense, we'll do it. If it don't make sense, then I'm not interested.
Fair enough.
And that's a wrap.
How do you think it's going to end with him? Because with Decca, because he's got people going to his door. Like, is he?
Do you know what I can see? I'll be truthful with you. I'll tell you exactly what I can see. I can see something bad happening to that man. I can see him badly getting hurt. That's my thoughts on the situation. Not everybody can be wrong.
But don't get me wrong, what?
And I've never got on and badmouthed Decca or said anything in my life about that man. But yet he's got a lot to say behind scenes about myself. To be honest with you, he's a two-faced prick.